Yeah, let me sit down here. What's going on, everybody? It's your favorite dating coach, Elliot Scott, and as you can see by the title below, we're going to talk about how you should correctly respond to ghosters when they return. Okay, now if you haven't yet, please subscribe. Just click the red button below. And if you want a lot more information on this subject, I even give you scripts thanks to saying why you need to have certain parts in your argument with him or your discussion with him to make him understand where you're coming from. That's all in my course, Attraction Academy. Links are down below. So there's so much I can say about this. I can make this the longest video in the world. We could talk about why he pulled away and therefore what you need to say because of that, and then go into the talk of what you should say to a ghoster and all these things. But I'm going to try to summarize a lot of this up, okay? The first thing you do need to understand is that when a ghoster ghosts and he comes back around, he is not coming back around because he misses you. He is not coming back. I don't care if that's what he says. He's coming back around for the assets. It's convenience. He is coming back around for validation, to fill a void, sexual favors, attention, ego boost, something like that. It cannot be a relationship. Ladies, a guy who truly likes you will not put himself in a position to lose you, okay? And when a guy pulls away and just ghosts you, not even like, just flat out ghosts you, that's a problem. That means I don't care, I got what I want, or I don't respect her enough that I'm just out. And you're still on the dating market as a woman. He knows that. He still doesn't care. Okay? So with that being said, what do you have to do and say when a ghoster returns? I personally wouldn't give him the time of day, but I know you're not going to listen. So I want to break down some things. In my course, I talk a lot about negotiation. And negotiation is the things you two do and say, like the standards that you allow in the relationship that kind of lets the other person know consciously, subconsciously, verbally, non-verbally, how to treat you. You don't have to say things. Sometimes it's just actions and the person knows. So let me give you an example I use all the time. Let's say you and me or you and somebody were hooking up, okay? And you're laying there, and all of a sudden you say to him, hey, I've been thinking about this for a while, and I really like you, and things seem to be going well. We've been talking for a bit. What about a relationship? You kind of throw it out there. And he says, hey, as much as I like you, I'm just not wanting one. I'm sorry. I just don't want a relationship. And you guys are friends with benefits at this point. And he's like, yeah, I'm not really feeling it. I'm sorry. And you're like, okay, well, that sucks, but I understand. And then, you guys go about your day and, you leave and things like that. And the next day, you come over, rinse and repeat. You come over and you guys are hooking up like you've always have been. Now, he can only assume by your actions of coming over and hooking up with him after demanding a relationship and not getting what you wanted, not getting the relationship, that you're okay with friends and benefits. Otherwise, why did you come back over and hook up? Okay? That doesn't mean it's not okay to do that if you're okay with friends of benefits, but you get what I'm saying. You just negotiated through your actions that, hey, I didn't get what I wanted, but I still want friends of benefits, so you came over. That's negotiation. That's an example of it. That could be thrown anywhere. It could be in texting. Do you respond to his text, or do you call him out, or do you wait it out, or do you leave him on red? Like, that's all negotiation. It all balances out on how someone should treat you, what they can get away with, what they can't get away with, and what's acceptable or what not. Right? So when a ghoster comes back around, that's what I call a renegotiation. Not even a ghoster, but when someone comes back around. Let's say you give a guy the ultimatum, he leaves, and then he comes back and says, hey, you know what, I kind of realize I messed up. Okay, any re-engagement like that is a renegotiation. And when a guy comes back around, you have to renegotiate your standards. You do that two ways, verbally and through your actions or your demands. Well, actions and demands. I guess verbally can be like demands. But through your actions, meaning the mistake a lot of women would make is a guy comes back in and she lets him kind of like have his, like say his spiel, like say his, his 2 cents on why it happened and, oh, I miss you, this, and then she talks to him about it, like, did you really miss me? Then why'd you pull away? I was just confused, I don't know. And then they get into, and then he ends up like talking his way back into it, and she just renegotiated in a way that it's okay to do that to her. That's okay when it's not. So what do you actually do? First off, if it's a ghoster, I always tell women, don't let a guy cut in line. Don't let a guy get his space back in line just because you like him. If he fucked up or if he effed up and he pulled away and did all this bullshit, he needs to go at the end of the line and work his way back in. That means he can blow up your stuff, okay? You don't reply. This is a ghoster. This isn't passive aggressive. This isn't playing games. This is standards. This guy ghosted you. He's irrelevant. He has to make himself relevant again, ladies. That's what you don't understand. So many people come to me and they wonder why they're in the situation they're in. It's because you lack standards. Guys do what they do to women for 2 reasons. Because you let him and he thinks he can get away with it. If any of those 2 things apply, you're going to be at the short end of the stick. You're going to get the raw end of the deal, okay? So to sum it up, basically, when a guy comes back around, don't let him back in. He has to work. And he has to work and work and work. And then you can show little signs here. You can show little signs that, maybe, if he says happy birthday, oh, thank you. But don't engage in a conversation. If he says he misses you, don't reply to that shit. Do not reply to that kind of stuff. Let him work his way in. And then when he does enough and you want to acknowledge it, acknowledge it. But from there, you're not having a talk with this dude. You're not like letting him like weasel his way back in. You're drawing that line saying, hey, I see that you're making a lot of effort. Maybe something clicked in that little small brain of yours. I'm looking for a relationship though. That's all I want. I don't want to work up to one. I don't want to see what happens, like you said last time. And I'd be hesitant. My camera went off. I don't know what happened. But anyway, you should be hesitant on even letting him back in and giving him another chance. You should be hesitant on it. Either way, the thing you need to do is draw that line right away. A lot of guys, what they like to do is what I call buy time. Like they use like these buy time phrases. He'll say, let's see what happens, and then screw you over, pull away, and then come back and say, I messed up. Give me another chance just to see what happens. And then you start from the beginning, and then you do it all over again, and then rinse and no. You know what you're getting from this guy. He knows what he's getting from you. You need to say, I don't want any of these games. I want a relationship. Okay? If you're coming back, it's for a monogamous, exclusive, 1-on-1 relationship. Please no verses. But for a relationship. Okay? But again, ladies, and then you draw the line on your standards. You draw the line on your standards that what he did was not okay. He does have to work his way back in. And then only do you bring up the talk of, hey, this is what I want, homie. Like you shouldn't even give him the access to you shouldn't even open the book and explain to him what you're looking for. Like he doesn't even deserve that. But I understand you're going to. So let me just give you this little 4-part, because I want you to understand that when a guy does pull away and come back around, it's not for a relationship. It's a lot of bull crap, okay? Personal gains. But let's just say number 2, he works his way in. He's trying. He realizes what he did was wrong and he's busting his ass. Then you can acknowledge it and tell him what is up. Hey, what you did was wrong. That's not okay. These are my standards. Like that was uncool, whatever. Like he needs to know he was in the wrong here, and you need to demonstrate your standards. And then only then do you give him the ultimatum. You jump right straight to the ultimatum. You have the talk with him. You have the talk. This is what I'm looking for. If you're not on the same page, I don't want to do no. Let's see what happens. Let's go from no. You're starting off monogamous relationship. And if he says okay with that, if you're okay with how he treated you in the past, again, I wouldn't even give this guy the benefit of the doubt, or I wouldn't even give this guy a chance, or the benefit of the doubt. But if you're okay with all that, and he's been busting his ass for a long time, and you don't feel like he's going to do it again, and he's willing to jump into a relationship, I guess you can do it. Again, not my recommendation. As soon as someone ghosts and they're gone for a while and they come back around, you're out. You're out. In fact, the only thing I would do is probably have that guy take me out, pay for an expensive ass dinner, and then I'll never call him again. He deserves that, okay? So that being said, ladies, I love you all. Take care and peace.